Alright, we're getting a bit inside baseball with this one, but you may have heard about the ad-pocalypse going on YouTube right now. A lot of people have been talking about issues with ads, and what's going on is that videos are being demonetized by YouTube without warning. It just shows up when you go into your video manager and you see it, and it says that it's not advertiser friendly. So they don't put ads on it, you don't make any money on that video anymore. And basically what's happened is a lot of the big advertisers that would advertise through YouTube have pulled out because they didn't like their ads showing up on certain videos, which I can understand. Like, you don't want your product advertisement showing up before like some crazy Nazi racist propaganda video or something like that. Like, you want to have control over that. So they were getting mad, they were pulling out, which is probably a big part of why ad rates have been going down. Like, there's just not enough ads to go around over the last couple of years. Everybody's just kind of making less money. But so they've implemented this new system, but the problem is that, first of all, it's not very good at figuring out what is actually advertiser friendly and what isn't, because it's an automated system, which YouTube kind of has to use because there's just so much footage uploaded every day. You could never pay enough people to watch all of it. But with an automated system, there's always going to be problems. Like, my video on this channel, the one called victim blaming, was flagged as not being advertiser friendly. Like, I mean, I don't think there's anything offensive in that. It's me stating an opinion, but it's not, like, it's just sort of a frank discussion of, I don't even know what set it off, but I actually disputed that one, and it says that when you dispute it, it will be reviewed. I don't know if that means by a human being or what, but it was eventually re-monetized. So I missed out on ad revenue during that time, and I mean, it's like 10 cents or something for that video. I'm not really worried about it, but now it's been re-monetized. The problem, though, is with other YouTubers who aren't so family friendly. Like, I tend to keep things pretty chill. Like, I don't. Sometimes I'll play games that are for older audiences or things that people wouldn't want their kids to play or whatever. But you know, I tend to stay pretty family friendly. But I definitely don't think every YouTuber should be that way, and you should have the choice to make whatever content you want to make. And I think YouTube is better overall if we have these different kinds of channels for, and you know, a lot of people have like news channels, so of course they're going to talk about big controversial things. They're going to talk about things that may not be appropriate for all audiences, or so they can't make any money anymore. Is that what's going to happen? I think that moves us too far into being what TV has become, where the advertisers just rule everything. They decide what kind of stuff gets made, and I don't think that's a good direction for YouTube to go in. That's totally against the spirit of what YouTube even is supposed to be. It's supposed to be anybody can just upload what they want. And I recognize that you're not entitled to make money from putting YouTube videos, from making videos and putting them online. Like, there is no entitlement there to be able to make a living doing that or make any money at all. And I can definitely see how some of the complaints about this are coming off as like, you know, if you don't give me money on Patreon, I'm gonna have to go get a job. Wah! Like, it's not, like, here's the thing though, the other side of that is that if people who are currently making a living on YouTube, their content is going to have to radically change if they do have to go get a job to support themselves. If they're no longer able to do it full time, they're going to be more like me. They're going to have to spend all of their free time making videos and still not keeping up with the pace that they were at, or their channel is just going to have to kind of fizzle out and die, and they'll have to it'll just end, because, you know, the big thing isn't money, it's time. It's having enough money to have enough time to spend making content. And so I understand both sides of this, and I also understand YouTube's position here, and I understand the advertiser's position here. It's just kind of a crappy situation we're in, and I don't like it. One thing that's interesting, though, is that Twitch is kind of in a good position here to become a competitor to YouTube, and a lot of the bigger creators have been saying, we're going to focus more on Twitch now instead of YouTube, because especially the ones who are getting lots of videos demonetized where it's just not a viable platform anymore. It's like Twitch has been kind of quietly setting up all of this for the last few months, like with the creative category and the IRL category. They're like social eating and whatever. It's like they've been setting up ways for YouTubers who have non-gaming content to do some stuff over on Twitch. They just put all this in place, and they just decided to quietly sit back and wait for YouTube to shoot themselves in the foot. And here come all the big creators. So maybe Twitch will become more of a competitor to YouTube. Twitch has the issue of having way too high of a barrier of entry as far as partnership for smaller creators like me, where, you know, I have no problem getting things monetized on YouTube, but on Twitch I don't make anything. So they need to work on that if they really want to be a competitor. But if they did, even though they focus more on live streaming and YouTube focuses more on uploading pre-recorded stuff, if they can become true competitors for each other, everybody wins. Creators win, viewers win, it'll be great for everybody. So, and advertisers win. So that's what I hope happens. The other thing I wanted to say is that Patreon is really now more important than ever. A lot of creators are depending almost entirely on Patreon now. I am not a full-time YouTuber or streamer or anything. I have a full-time job that pays the bills. I would like to do this stuff full-time someday. That's always kind of been the big goal I'm working toward. But for now, you know, my Patreon money, which I'm super grateful for, I use that to buy games, to stream. This next month, I think I'm going to use it to buy a cheap knockoff GoPro to be able to film some fun outdoor stuff for this channel. But yeah, thank you to Patreon patrons is what you are called. Really appreciate you guys. And yeah, just keep in mind that that's going to become more and more important for all the creators that you follow. This isn't me like trying to get you to give me more money. Like, I'm doing okay. I see that being kind of the future of where this whole YouTube, Twitch, online content creator thing is going for all of us. So I just think it's interesting. Alright, I'll stop talking about it now though. I hope you have a good day.